Would you stay silent? Or let revenge speak for you? Welcome to the stories on Shattered Vengeance. Step into a world where love turns dangerous, revenge feels inevitable, and every story drags you deeper into the shadows of desire, betrayal, and the human heart. Let's begin today's story. I returned from a 3-week business trip to Singapore to find my front door lock changed. My key didn't work. Through the window, I could see my brother Ethan directing movers carrying furniture into my living room. I rang the doorbell. Ethan opened it, grinning. "Oh good, you're back. Mom gave me the house. Your stuff's in the garage. You've got until Sunday to clear it out." I stared at him. "What are you talking about? This is my house." "Was your house? Mom transferred ownership last week. She said you're never here anyway, always traveling. I actually need the space. Brittany and I are getting married." At 29, I'd bought this Phoenix townhouse 2 years ago for $425,000. I worked as a senior consultant, traveling frequently, but this was my home. My name was on everything. "Ethan, Mom can't give you my house. She doesn't own it." He laughed. "She showed me the paperwork. You put it in her name for tax purposes. He transferred it to me. It's legal. I never put anything in Mom's name." "Whatever. I don't want drama. Take your stuff and go. The movers need to finish." He started closing the door. I put my foot in the doorway. "This is fraud. You can't." "It's not fraud if Mom gave it to me. Move your foot before I call the cops for trespassing." I stepped back and called my mother. "Oh sweetie, you're back. How was Asia?" "Mom, why is Ethan at my house claiming you gave it to him?" Silence. "Well honey, you're never there. Ethan needs a place for his family. It made sense to transfer ownership. You can stay with me until you find something. You can't transfer ownership of a house that isn't yours. Don't be difficult. I'm your mother. When you bought the house, you said I could help manage things. I'm managing. Ethan needs it more. I gave you a key for emergencies. That's it." Her voice cooled. "Your brother is starting a life. You're 32 and single, no roots. Why are you being selfish? It's just a house." I hung up and called my HOA president, Richard Martinez. "Mr. Martinez, this is Avery Chin from 2847 Sunset Ridge. My brother changed my locks claiming my mother transferred ownership. Can you verify who's listed as owner?" "Let me check." Pause. "I show you as sole owner. Deed filed June 2022. No transfers, no changes. Your HOA dues are current. Can you come over? I need a witness." 10 minutes. I called my attorney Sharon Rodriguez, who'd handled my purchase. Left a message about the emergency. Ethan appeared on the porch. "Are you still here? This is my property. Leave or I'm calling police." "Call them. I'd love to explain how you broke into my house." His confidence flickered. "I didn't break in. I have keys. Mom gave them with the deed transfer." "Mom doesn't have a deed to transfer. She showed me paperwork." "What paperwork? A deed? A title? Or did she just tell you she owned it?" His face reddened. "She's our mother. Why would she lie? Why would I? Ethan, I bought this house with my money. I have mortgage statements, closing documents, everything. My name is on the deed filed with Maricopa County. What do you have?" Mom said isn't a legal document." Richard Martinez pulled up. 60s retired real estate attorney. He got out carrying a folder. "Miss Chin, you must be the brother." Ethan straightened. "I'm Ethan Chin, the new owner. My mother transferred the property last week." Richard opened his folder. "I have the deed filed with the county. Owner, Avery Chin, sole owner. Purchased June 2022 for $425,000. No transfers filed." "That's impossible," Ethan said. "Mom showed me." "What exactly did she show you?" "Papers. Legal papers about transferring ownership." "Did these papers have a county seal? Notary stamp? Were they filed with the recorder's office?" Ethan was silent. Property transfers require specific legal documentation. Notarized, recorded with the county, processed through title company. Did any of that happen? Mom handled it." Richard turned to me. "Miss Chin, did you give your mother power of attorney over this property?" "No. He has a key for emergencies. That's all." Then she has no legal authority to transfer ownership. Mr. Chin, you're occupying property you don't own. You've changed locks without permission and you're refusing to leave. That's trespassing, possibly breaking and entering. Hold up. My phone rang. Sharon Rodriguez. Avery, got your message. What's happening? I explained quickly. I'm 15 minutes away. Don't let him remove anything. I'm calling police now. This is criminal. My mom claims she transferred. Unless you gave her a recorded deed or power of attorney, she can't transfer anything. This is fraud. Ethan's phone rang. He stepped away talking urgently. The movers emerged looking uncomfortable. Sir? The credit card you gave us was declined. Ethan went pale. That's impossible. Try again. We tried 3 times. Do you have another payment method? Just wait. He dialed frantically. Richard looked at me. Document everything. Photos of changed locks, the furniture, all of it. You'll need evidence. I started taking photos. My living room filled with strange furniture. My belongings stacked in the garage. The new lock. 20 minutes later, Sharon arrived with 2 police officers. 45, sharp-eyed, briefcase ready. Officers, thank you. This is my client, Avery Chin, legal owner of this property. This man has illegally changed her locks, moved his possessions in, and is refusing to leave based on fraudulent ownership claims. The older officer looked at Ethan. Sir, do you have documentation proving ownership? My mother gave it to me. Do you have paperwork? A deed. She said she'd handle the legal stuff. So no documentation. Ma'am, do you have proof of ownership? Sharon pulled documents from her briefcase. Original deed filed with Maricopa County, June 2022. Mortgage documents with Desert Valley Bank. Property tax records. HOA records. All showing Avery Chin as owner. The officer examined everything. This is clear. Sir, this property belongs to Ms. Chin. You need to leave immediately. But my mother said. Your mother doesn't appear on these documents. Unless you can produce legal proof, notarized, recorded, you're trespassing. Brittany, Ethan's fiancée, pulled up. She got out, saw police, and her face fell. Ethan, what's going on? You said this was settled. It was. Mom gave me the house. Ethan, I said quietly, did you verify anything before changing my locks? Why would I? Mom showed me papers. What papers? Did you read them? Check with the county recorder? Hire a lawyer. His silence was damning. Sharon spoke to officers. I want to file charges. Breaking and entering, trespassing, vandalism for the locks, attempted fraud. Wait, Ethan said desperately. This is a family misunderstanding. Don't press charges against your brother. You broke into my house and tried to steal my property. That's not a misunderstanding. My mother's car screeched into the driveway. She got out flushed. What's going on? Avery, why are police at your brother's new house? My house, Mom. My deed. My mortgage. My taxes. What papers did you show Ethan? She hesitated. I had documentation. What documentation? I never gave you ownership. I never gave you power of attorney. I gave you a spare key for emergencies. That's it. You're always traveling. Someone needs to manage the property. I manage it fine. HOA fees paid. Mortgage current. Property maintained. What exactly were you managing? Sharon stepped forward. Mrs. Chin, did you create fraudulent documents claiming ownership of this property? My mother went white. No, I just told Ethan that Avery had given me the house to distribute. So you lied. You created a false narrative to convince your son he had legal claim to property you don't own. Then he acted on that by breaking in and changing locks. That's conspiracy to commit fraud. Revelation. The officer pulled out his notepad. Mrs. Chin, did you tell your son he could take possession of this property? I'm their mother. I was helping Ethan. By lying about property ownership? That's fraud. My mother turned to me, tears forming. Avery, please. You don't need this house. You're never here. Ethan and Brittany are starting a family. Can't you be generous? Be generous? This house cost $425,000. I put down $100,000 I saved for years. I pay a $2,400 mortgage monthly. And you want me to just give it away? He's your brother. And this is my home. The home I worked for, saved for, bought with my money. You have no right to give it away. Richard Martinez spoke. Mrs. Chen, for context, Sunset Ridge townhomes currently sell for $550,000 to $600,000. You attempted to transfer over $500,000 in assets that don't belong to you. Brittany's voice was small. Ethan, you said your mom gave you a house. We gave notice on our apartment. The movers cost $2,000 on credit cards. I thought it was handled. Ethan shouted. Mom said she owned it. I never said I owned it, my mother backtracked. I said I had authority. You said you were transferring ownership. You said Avery put it in your name for taxes. The officer looked at my mother. Ma'am, did you tell your son he could legally take possession? She was silent. I can arrest you right now for conspiracy to commit fraud and grand theft. The property value makes it a felony. I was trying to help my son, she whispered. Sharon pulled me aside. Your mother convinced your brother to break in based on false claims. You can press charges against both. Your mother for fraud and conspiracy, your brother for breaking and entering, trespassing, vandalism. What do you recommend? Press charges against your brother. Message about consequences. Your mother is trickier, she's family. But you need a restraining order preventing both from accessing this property. I looked at Ethan, at the movers waiting with his furniture, at Brittany crying, at my mother looking frightened. Officer, I want to press charges against my brother for breaking and entering, trespassing and vandalism. I also want a formal police report. Ethan's face crumbled. Avery, please. You didn't verify. You took Mom's word, changed my locks and moved in without confirming anything. That's on you. The officer nodded. Mr. Chen, you're under arrest for criminal trespassing and breaking and entering. He read Miranda rights while handcuffing him. Brittany got out. This is insane. Over a house. Arresting your own brother. He broke into my home, I said simply. Actions have consequences. Resolution. The police took Ethan to the station. The movers, unpaid, loaded his furniture and drove off. I learned later they took it to storage and put a lien on it for unpaid fees. Sharon filed for a restraining order against both Ethan and my mother, prohibiting them from coming within 500 feet of my property. Granted within 48 hours. My mother called 30 times over the next week. I didn't answer. Her voicemails ranged from angry to pleading to manipulative. I saved them all for court. Ethan's attorney tried negotiating, dropped charges in exchange for admitting fault and paying for locks and legal fees. Sharon countered. Criminal trespassing conviction, 2 years probation, $10,000 restitution, permanent restraining order. He took it. Couldn't risk trial with all the evidence. Brittany left him 3 weeks later. Apparently, finding out your fiancé broke into his sister's house based on lies wasn't the foundation she wanted. My mother's church friends reached out, trying to guilt me into forgiveness. I blocked them all. 6 months later, I received a letter from my mother. Handwritten, 2 pages. She apologized for lying to Ethan. Acknowledged she'd been wrong. Admitted she'd always favored him and taken me for granted because I was successful and didn't need help. I read it 3 times. Then filed it away. A year later, I'm still in my townhouse. High-security deadbolts installed. Emergency contacts updated, removing my mother completely. Ethan works at a car dealership, rebuilding after losing Brittany, his savings and his relationship with me. We don't speak. My mother sends birthday cards. I don't respond. The restraining order is permanent. Sometimes family means the people who raised you. Sometimes it means the boundaries you set to protect what you've built. Ethan thought he could take my house because our mother said so. He learned Mom said, isn't a legal document. My mother thought I'd accept losing my home because I was never there anyway. She learned presence and ownership are different things. And I learned that protecting what's yours sometimes means standing firm against people who think family loyalty means letting them take whatever they want. The house at 2847 Sunset Ridge is mine. The deed says so. The law says so. And no amount of family manipulation will ever change that.